Welcome everybody to Chatting with Cade. My name is Eric Reese. I get the honor of being the CEO of the Jessie Reese Foundation and Jessie's daddy. And this program is about allowing our incredible junior ambassador, Super Cade. Hey, Super Cade, how are you doing, buddy?
Really good.
So great to see you, bud. And Cade gets to chat with some of our All-Stars. And today, Cade gets to chat with Kyle Allen. Kyle, how are you?
Good, Eric. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, my name is Kyle Allen. I met Eric back in high school, actually, at the Elite 11 camp when I was a sophomore in high school. And I met Cade sometime around there, too, a little bit after. And just been around Cade. Cade, I swear I've been around you for as long as I can remember. You've been out in the field working with me since college, man. So this is really cool. We get to do this. But yeah, I'm an NFL quarterback. I play for the Redskins right now. Played for the Panthers the last 2 years, but spend all the off seasons out here in California. So I see a lot of Eric and I see a lot of Cade. Ton of Cade.
Well, we're honored that you can carve out a little time to chat with us. And so Cade has provided us with some questions. He's ready to start. So Cade, let's start chatting.
Yeah, so thank you for wearing the NEGU wristband. I noticed when you play football, you have the thick one on. I have the thin one on. When I look at mine, I'm encouraged to work harder at my workouts in school. Why do you wear yours?
So I like how you noticed I wear the thick one. I've always worn the thick one because it's the first one I got. Yep, Eric's got it on too right there. It was the first one I got in high school. And I remember I've broken about 3 or 4 of these, but I always keep asking Eric to bring me back these ones, the same ones. But I can't tell you how many times I've looked down at this wristband, whether it be in practice or in games or in real time, and just thought about all the different moments I've had with you, with people that I've met in the hospitals. Just so many of those different moments that have just left a lasting impact on me. And it's as simple as it gets, as the words that are inscribed on the other side: never, ever give up. And I look down at that and I just think of those exact words, and there's many times out there on the field when it's tough, when we're down a bunch, when I've gotten hit a ton and I don't feel like playing, I'm hurt or whatever. There's so many times where I don't think you realize it, that you can easily look down at this thing right here and it just gives you that extra jolt that you really need. And just kind of refocuses you of why you're really here, what's your goal, and what's important. And so this thing has meant a lot to me, and I've talked about it a ton, and you guys have heard it over the years. So I think about really simple things when I look down about it, and it really just helps me keep going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I look down at mine all the time, and I'm always encouraged by it.
Always.
Second question is, Jordan Palmer is your coach. I know you work with him during the off season. That's where actually you and me, I think, met. Because first practice, with Deshaun Watson was there. JT Daniels was there. He was like my age, like he was in 8th grade. That was a really fun day. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I remember that day. I was staying at a hotel. It was me and Deshaun and JT and Ben Hicks, who went to SMU, and there was one other kid there. I forgot his name, but I remember that day we were just crashing at some random hotel out here, and you came out to the field and you started whipping it around. That was a pretty cool day.
Yeah. Aiden, Rockstar Aiden was also there that day too.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
So my question is, Jordan Palmer is your coach. He says a lot about like using your platform for good. Why is that important for you?
I think he was the first person to really talk to me about that, and he talked to me about that at a very young age. And I thought it was really cool because I hadn't heard about something like that before. And I think he started talking to me about it in high school. And Cade, you have a massive platform already at your young age, and you've used it, and you went and talked to many teams, and you've been brave and gone out there in front of people. And I mean, at your age, it's incredible. But what he started talking about me in high school is the higher you get up in football, the more people you can affect, the larger your platform becomes. And he told it to me like this: it's almost a responsibility for you as a player. And when you put it like that, it really hits home and it really makes sense for me. for you to be able to play at this level, to have this many eyes on you, to have a lot of people watching what you do, you have influence over other people, whether you like it or not. And it's your responsibility to do something with that platform and to do good things with that platform too. And so I was really happy that he told me that at such a young age, and I could wrap my mind around it and really figure out what ways that I wanted to use my platform for the better. And I think there's a ton of ways that I've used it over my career, and there's a ton of ways that I'm going to continue to use it over my career. But it's a great question. I think that, I mean, Erik has a massive platform too. I think, Cade, you've created an awesome platform for yourself where you're going to speak to these teams and these kids. And I don't think you realize the impact you have on some of these people.
Yeah, you are making an incredible difference, Cade. We're so proud of you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
So you know my story. When I was 5 years old, I had a brain tumor in a stroke. A lot of other people are going through some hard times. What is the hardest thing you have to overcome?
Oh man, it's a great question. You know, there's a lot of things I can think back on. You know, I mean, I look at stories like you, and I've never had to go through anything like that in my life. You know, what you've gone through in your life already is 10 times harder than anything I've gone through. You know, I think about some things like parents' deaths, not parents' deaths, like grandparents' deaths in the family. You know, there's nothing that really crazy sticks out in my mind right now, you know? And that's why I've had this question asked me before, and I've looked back on my life, and it's been like, I look back and I'm like, man, I've lived a blessed life. I've lived an easy life, you know? A lot of my hardships have come from football. And to be able to say that and not have a lot of crazy hard things in my personal life to have to deal with, or family life to have to deal with, it's blessed. And that's why, you know, when I hear people's stories like you, or I go to the hospitals and I see kids who are in different situations, and I get to talk to these families. I met a family out in Carolina where there was a kid there who was like 3 or 4, and he had been in the hospital for years. And I got to know him super well, and he was very shy at the beginning, and he warmed up to me over the time. And at the end of it, he was best friends, and he would come out to the practice field in Carolina, and I was DMing with his parents, and I got traded, and he was devastated when I got traded to the Redskins. I was going to go to the event and everything. But, you know, I think the more I spend time around people with stories like you get perspective on it, you know, because it's like I said, I haven't had a lot of crazy things going in my personal life. I've been very blessed and fortunate. And I know there will be a time when things will happen in my life like that. But I think that's why I appreciate those moments that I spend with kids like you, kids in the hospital, these families, Erik, with all this time I've spent with you guys. You know, it's helped you gain perspective when I haven't really gone through anything as heavy as you guys have. And it makes you appreciate things a lot more.
Well, we so much appreciate you, Kyle. What is the worst injury you've had as a football player?
Even that, I've stayed pretty healthy my whole career. It's crazy.
That's
the worst
great.
injury I had was I broke my collarbone like in 8th grade. I mean,
Oh, wow.
2 years ago on the Panthers, the first game I played in, I separated my AC joint, but it was the last game of the year, and I just went home and sat on my bed for months in the off season, you know, and I healed. Hasn't been anything crazy, you know. I mean, I guess my story from college to pro is a story of where I think of my wristband NEGU as a story of never ever giving up and perseverance, of coming out of high school as the top recruit at quarterback and playing at A&M a good amount, and having a lot of adversity there on and off the field of playing and not playing, and dealing with different opinions, and then having to transfer and go to Houston and sit out for a year and not play at all, and then go in the next year and think that I'm going to start and play great in a year and go to the NFL, and then only start 3 games and be benched for the rest of the season, and have to make a decision to go to the NFL and trust yourself, you know. And I could get into that story for half an hour, but essentially it's when I think about the wristband and I think about never ever giving up, and I tell the story at a lot of Jordan's camps to the young kids, is everyone's story is very unique.
Yeah.
Everyone's. And you can't compare your story to anyone else's, and I look at people like you, Cade, and your story is so unique for your age, and I can pull things from you, and I can pull things that help me push through moments like that. And so I think when I think of the wristband and I think of like adversities and stuff like that, I push through those moments because of stories like your guys'.
Wow. Well, we're grateful for your support, buddy. We love obviously cheering for you on Sundays and seeing you in the seeing you in the children's hospitals and stuff. And so no, it's great. Cade, what's next for Kyle?
What would you say to a 14-year-old? Like, I'm 14. What would you say to a 14-year-old that has dreams of playing into the NFL?
Great question. I'll direct this straight towards you, since I know that you're working very hard too. I would say for a kid your age that's trying to get to the NFL, I would say first and foremost to enjoy the process. Completely enjoy the work, enjoy the games, the practices, the camaraderie, the relationships. First and foremost, enjoy it, because if you do that, you'll never burn out, and then you'll really appreciate the work. I think once I started to really enjoy the work and set high goals, but not be so goal focused, more process focused, and understanding and appreciating what it takes to get there. I think when I learned that and I really switched my mindset to that, that's when it started to take off. And that's when I started to really be able to see big improvements and push through those adversities. And I think that kids your age at 14, you haven't seen a lot of adversity in the sports world yet. A lot of kids that are playing or having fun or playing a lot, and you get to high school, you'll probably be playing a lot and stuff like that. And once you hit those adversities, I didn't hit those adversities until college, you got to understand how to deal with them. And I think that's a disservice that we do a lot to the younger kids and the high school kids, is we put them up on this pedestal and they think they're the kings of football until they get hit in the face and stuff happens. And so I think once I fell in love with the process and I learned a lot about myself through those adversities, that's when I really started to become more of who I was as a person and as a player. And so first and foremost, you got to just enjoy the process and create those awesome relationships. I'm sure, Cade, you've made a ton of friends through all this. You have a ton of friends, obviously, with me and Jordan and Sam and Deshaun and all those guys. And you're really good at creating those relationships and just enjoying it, man. Really, it's a fun game. It's meant to be enjoyed.
That's great advice. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Now I have some fun questions for you.
Thank God. I'm sweating over here.
What time do you set your alarm?
Oh, right now my alarm is set at 7:15.
Why do you set it at 7:15?
Okay, so we're doing our Zoom meetings with our teams right now.
Oh.
And Sam's meetings are from 8 to 10. So I got to get up in time before his meeting starts to make sure that I can get coffee. And my meetings are from 10 to 12. So that's why it's at. But no, I usually wake up around that time anyways, but 7:15 is my alarm.
All right.
What time's your alarm, Cade?
Like today I woke up at like 8:30.
There we go. Some good sleep.
What is your like pregame playlist?
Oh, my pregame playlist. I like to switch it up every week. I think it's whatever I'm feeling when I'm walking into the locker room. You know, when we walk by, we have in Carolina, we have like a little lane of people when you walked by, and it was kind of funny. They would like announce your name when you walked into the stadium, and there'd be a group of people you high five, and then there's this little time period of about a minute where you're walking by yourself, and I would always figure out what I was feeling that day. Some days it was hard hip hop, like some rap, some Kid Cudi. Some days it was like Justin Timberlake. Some days it was like, even me, some days I went with some country, and I'm not a country guy. I remember there was a game where I had some country going pregame, but I'm all over the map when it's pregame playlist. It's whatever I'm feeling.
That's really cool. My last question is I have a Panthers jersey, and now that you're on the Washington Redskins, I have to get one of the Redskins jerseys.
You do. That's not a question. That is a statement. You got to get that. That's a for sure. We'll make sure you get one. Don't worry about it. We'll have one on the way. I got a new number too. Number 8 now.
Number 8?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, man. No, this was awesome. Thank you guys for having me, Cade. This is really cool. I hope I'm your most favorite guest so far.
Well,
you don't have to answer. It's okay.
well, Kyle, on behalf of obviously the Jessie Reese Foundation, thank you for using your platform to help kids fighting cancer never ever give up. Thank you for being such an encouragement to Cade up close and from afar. And thank you for helping kids fighting cancer never ever give up. We're so grateful that we can not just call you an all-star, we can call you a friend. And we're just honored that you're on our team. And we wish you obviously continued success with Washington and staying completely healthy. And we love you. And again, we just want to say thank you so, so much for being on our team and helping kids fighting cancer never ever give up.
Of course, man. Thank you guys too. I don't think you guys know what you've meant to me and a lot of other players that are in your guys' circle. I don't think you guys understand what you guys have meant and how much it's impacted us. So we thank you guys too.
All right, buddy. Good seeing you.
You too. Bye, guys.
Bye.